What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Recently, brother Cam Newton, I don't know if this was his show in particular, but he was on one show with a lady by the name of Dr. Bryant. I don't know if this was on his podcast or her podcast, but it was very interesting. And she was pretty much holding him accountable about why he has so many different kids, okay? And he has not married any of the baby mamas. Now, he's afraid of marriage. You're gonna hear that, but it was a very interesting conversation. I want you guys to hear it, and then I'm gonna come back.
A lot of people see my situation and not think that I'm not high function.
What situation?
Okay, so I'm not married. I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more.
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
You're
just
saying,
want
or
God
by
to
your
bring
wife?
them. I just want God to bring them.
Oh, okay.
My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce. So, as you had said, Dr. Brian, you said it, I didn't say it, I will agree. I'm just taking my time.
You're not taking your time.
I am, though.
You're being very action-based. You're not taking your time.
I'm taking my time.
You're being very action-based. You have 8 kids with 3 different women.
Yes.
You are creating, procreating, and multiplying. That is not taking your time. You're being very selectively active. Okay? So you're creating, in disclaimer, the kids are innocent, they are beautiful and amazing. Anything I say has nothing to do with them babies. But you are proactively choosing active at and where you want to take your time. You want to take your time in having a wife because of your own fears. But you will, and I say this with all respect and love, what I'm about to say next, okay, Cam? But you will selfishly create broken families, even if you're in their life and you're a proactive father, and I believe you're an amazing daddy. I can only imagine with just your presence and knowing you. But these families are still broken. Every child cannot have Papa in the house with them. So some child, if not all, will end up with some kind of deficit without daddy being there. Now, you chose to do that. I'm not saying you sat there and woke up one morning and said, I want to be selfish today, so I'm going to go make a baby. Not saying that at all. But those are selfish acts at the expense of your fear. And yeah, that is a low functioning behavior. To say that I'm going to build these houses and put kids and these beautiful women and kids in them, but I ain't going to create a home in them. I'm going to wait till I dissipate my fear to find a wife where I'm still going to be fearful with, because there's no such thing as not having some type of nerve or some type of feeling behind marrying somebody. And then I'm going to build a home with her while all these other beautiful babies have houses. That's completely unfair and that's selfish. And so, yes, you're taking your time in this department, but you're not taking your time in this department, which means you're compartmentalizing. And compartmentalizing never works. Compartmentalizing hurts everybody involved. Everybody who's in this box and that box and this box and that box and this box. And then here you go over here trying to figure out what box you're going to feed or entertain or do. Then you're looking outside to figure out who's your next victim to put in the box. It's unhealthy.
So Cam says that his fear or desires getting married is lower than my fear of getting a divorce. He wants to have more kids. I disagree with his sentiment completely. I love Cam Newton. I think he's a very talented brother, not only on the field, but off the field. But I'm going to disagree with brother Cam here. And the reason why I'm going to disagree with Cam is because your kids need a father in the same house. But to his point, she is upset about the fact, she's not really upset. She basically was telling the truth, right? She's breaking it down. That you're making all of these fatherless homes, that you're not going to be there because you're not there. You got business. You might go play football again. You got another woman that you have another kids with. You have 8 kids. You want more kids. But the question is, well, how is he able to get away with it? And that is because the women will let him do that. So many women are okay with letting a rich man just give them a baby and not marry them. Most women in America, I believe now, even across the world, are too afraid to tell a man, you got to marry me first before I give you a kid. Because there's so many women willing to give a man a kid. And do you know what? For a rich man, it works out in his favor. Because women don't want to be a wife as much as they used to And a guy don't want to be a husband because why? Cam Newton didn't work all his life to make that money for somebody to take it from him in a divorce. Even the baby mama, one of the ones he got like 4 kids with the ex-stripper. She was trying to get some money out of him and everything like that after that. So just imagine if he had divorced her. So he's not gonna marry her. So he can pay child support. He ain't gonna marry her. He ain't gonna marry her. Okay? And the reality is he's never gonna have to marry her. That's the incentive for guys who are rich. Guys who have money in today's world are not gonna marry these chicks. Do you wanna know why they're not gonna marry them? I'll tell you. They don't feel like they're gonna get anything from them. Okay? So men will say, look, I want some sort of relationship with you for the time being. Okay? It won't be for long because I have too much to lose dealing with you. And do you know what? I think that guys keep proving that to be right time and time again long term. Look, it's better for me to deal with you until I don't like you no more, you don't like me no more. I'll move on to somebody else. And I'm betting on the fact that when you move on, you're not gonna move on to nobody like me anyway. So I'm not gonna let you get the money that I worked hard for. Hell no. You got to go somebody else. And time again, we see that. And if women want to be married, then guess what? They got to give what the guy is looking for. LeBron is married, still married. Russell Westbrook is married, still married. All right. How many women are we seeing that's like that for the most part? That you really want to be a wife. No, not a city girl, not just wanting a marriage. You want to be a wife. You want to do the hard work of being a wife. You know, you actually want to do that. A lot of guys don't feel that. It's a lot of ladies interested in doing that. Okay, we're going to be honest. And so when they don't want to do it, then guess what? Guys will say, look, give me the chicks I can deal with whenever I feel like it. I can have sex with them every now and then. I'll come back. I'll do this. I'll do that. Boom. We all to the good now. That's what it is. If women want that to be differently, then okay. If you want a rich guy, then sign a prenup. Here's what you do. Sign a prenup. Tell the guy, I don't want nothing after the divorce. Okay? Now if you divorce him, don't try to come out and say, I was threatened, I was stressed out. Don't say that. Okay? Be like, listen, I want to be your wife. It doesn't matter, what your wealth is before. I really want to be a wife. It's not too many chicks want to do that. So they get what they get when they get it. It's a reason why guys are doing, almost every guy is doing this now. Back in the 90s, let me just tell you this. When I was coming up, every NBA player in the 90s that I knew was married. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Shaq. They were younger then, getting ready to get married. Olajuwon. Almost every all-star was married at that time. That was more of a time women wanted to be, it was more, divorce wasn't so common. Now, it's, let me marry the guy, then divorce the guy, take whatever he's worked for and get half of it, then go spend my money on a guy who didn't give me nothing. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Be honest with yourself. So guys, we think it's your boy D Jackson back at it again with an episode of Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.